Welcome on board, chosen one. Funny how everyone pretended they didn't see you coming. Please stop whatever you are doing right now and listen closely to my voice. This message found you because heaven is orchestrating a massive shift in your timeline. You felt it coming for weeks. You knew something was changing. And your intuition was entirely correct. They always spoke so highly of you in public. They smiled to your face and praised your kindness. They told everyone how amazing you were while secretly draining your energy dry. You gave them your light. You offered them your purest intentions. But behind closed doors they mocked your gentle spirit because it exposed their own deep inner emptiness. Do you remember that strange tightness in your chest whenever you left their presence? That heavy exhaustion that washed over you after a simple conversation with them? You thought you were just tired. You blamed yourself for being too sensitive. But that physical drain was your spirit warning you about their toxic hidden agendas. Things have drastically changed now. Have you noticed the sudden shift in how they look at you? They can no longer hold eye contact. They nervously look away when you walk into the room. Their fake smiles tremble. The very people who tried to keep you small are now completely embarrassed and exposed by your ascending frequency. They thought your silence was a sign of weakness. They assumed you would always tolerate their manipulation just to keep the peace. But your silence was actually gathering a dangerous level of divine authority. You stepped back. You stopped feeding their egos. And by completely removing your energy from their lives, you triggered their ultimate downfall. Right now, they are experiencing a terrifying level of panic. The universe has violently ripped off their masks for everyone to see. All the lies they told about you are turning back into ashes in their own mouths. Their carefully constructed illusions are collapsing. They are watching you rise while their own foundations crumble into absolute dust. This is not a random coincidence. You are not watching this by accident today. Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific transmission to your screen because you need to witness this justice. You endured the hidden abuse for far too long. You cried silent tears while they celebrated their fake victories. Now, heaven is demanding full repayment. Do not scroll away from this message. If you leave now, you will completely miss the final piece of this divine puzzle. The darkness desperately wants you to swipe away and forget everything you just heard. They want you to doubt your own sanity again. They are terrified that you will finally understand the true magnitude of your spiritual power. Stay with me until the very end. There is a deeply hidden reason why their humiliation is happening right at this exact moment. A humiliating secret of theirs is actively being exposed by the divine courts. I am going to reveal exactly how your quiet authority has become the ultimate weapon against their narcissistic games. They used to pat you on the back. They used to call you their best friend. They kept you around because your pure light made their dark lives look better. They needed your empathy to feed their insatiable hunger for validation. But the moment you started establishing real boundaries, they suddenly painted you as the villain of their twisted story. You accepted the villain role with total grace. You walked away without defending yourself. You let them tell their fake stories. And that beautiful surrender is exactly what activated your current era of absolute power. When you stopped fighting them in the physical realm, you allowed the universe to fight for you in the spiritual realm. And the universe fights without any mercy. The karma sweeping through their lives right now is relentless and deeply personal. They are losing the very things they tried to steal from you. They are losing their peace. They are losing their fake friends. The profound emptiness they tried to project onto you is now swallowing them entirely whole. They feel totally embarrassed because they realize they underestimated a sleeping giant. They exposed their own toxic nature while trying to destroy your pure reputation. Everyone around them is finally waking up to the truth. The flying monkeys have stopped flying. The enablers are quietly backing away. Their isolated kingdom of lies is burning down. Take one slow breath right now. Let this profound truth settle deeply into your physical body. You are completely safe. The spiritual war you fought in the dark is finally over. You are standing in the blinding light of divine vindication. The pain you suffered was never meant to break you down. It was a rigorous test to forge your eternal spirit. I need you to completely understand the sheer power you hold today. You do not need to say a single word to them ever again. Your sheer existence is enough to make their skin crawl with deep regret. They secretly watch your life from fake accounts. They obsess over your silent progress. They are tortured by the fact that you survived their attacks. Let us travel back to those confusing moments from your recent past. You sat across from them while they showered you with endless sweet words. They praised your talents and told you how much they admired you. But why did your physical body constantly send you massive red alerts during those exact moments while they were pretending to be your closest friends? Listen carefully, because this will explain everything. You smiled politely and thanked them for their kind words. Your logical mind told you to be grateful for their apparent support. You wanted to believe their friendship was entirely genuine and pure. But deep down in your spirit, something felt incredibly wrong, because their words were dripping with honey, while their energy felt exactly like poison. You probably remember the physical reactions your body had around them. Your stomach would tie itself into tight, uncomfortable knots. You would suddenly feel dizzy or completely unfocused while they were talking. They were just giving you a compliment, but your entire nervous system was reacting as if a dangerous predator was sitting quietly in the room. You are not crazy, and you were never just being overly sensitive. As a chosen empath, you possess a highly tuned spiritual radar. Your spirit does not listen to the human vocabulary they carefully construct. Your spirit reads the raw, energetic frequency vibrating beneath their fake smiles, and what your beautiful soul detected was absolute envy hiding in plain sight. Their compliments were never meant to actually lift you up. They used flattery as a manipulative tool to lower your energetic defenses. They knew they could not break you through direct attacks, because your light was too strong. So they tried to sneak into your inner circle by wearing the comforting mask of a supportive friend who only wanted the best for you. They studied your kindness and figured out exactly what you wanted to hear. They mirrored your good traits to make you feel completely understood. You thought you had finally found your tribe, but every time you opened your heart to them, they secretly siphoned away a piece of your vital life force while pretending to care about your well-being. This is the exact reason you felt that sudden chest tightness. This is why you experienced that severe energy drain immediately after speaking with them. Your physical body was practically screaming at you to run away. The intense exhaustion you felt was not a medical issue, but a direct result of spiritual vampirism orchestrated by those who envied your divine favor. You must protect your sacred energy from these deceptive forces. Hit subscribe right now to establish a divine energy receiving station and block out their toxic frequency. By aligning with this space, you are building an impenetrable wall against any future manipulation. You are taking back the absolute control of your own spiritual borders. Stop blaming yourself for ignoring those early warning signs. You were operating from a place of deep compassion and unconditional love. You naturally projected your own beautiful intentions onto very broken people. You assumed they had the same pure heart that beats inside your chest, because your pure nature simply could not comprehend their calculated malice. It hurts deeply when you realize someone you trusted was entirely fake. You feel foolish for letting them into your sacred personal space. You replay the conversations in your head and wonder how you missed the truth. But you did not miss the truth, because your intuition was always loudly warning you about their dark, hidden motives long before they betrayed you. Whenever they looked at you, they saw everything they could never be. Your effortless grace reminded them of their own profound spiritual failures. They hated you for it, but they could not stay away from your magnetic aura. So they showered you with empty praises, hoping to steal your essence through fake loyalty and calculated proximity while you remained completely unaware. You caught those tiny micro-expressions of pure malice. You felt the cold draft of betrayal long before they actually stabbed you in the back. I am here to completely validate every single suspicion you ever had. You were entirely right about them from the very first day you met, and your internal spiritual guidance system never failed you once during this entire painful process. Take comfort in knowing that your intuition is sharper than ever. The pain you endured was simply a divine recalibration of your spiritual boundaries. You had to learn the hard way so you would never tolerate fake energy again. Now you hold the wisdom to see right through anyone who approaches you with hidden dark intentions, and you stand as the untouchable master of your own reality. Let us talk about the heavy silence surrounding your life right now. You look around and notice your circle has become incredibly small. The constant noise of fake friends has completely faded away. You might feel lonely in this exact moment, and you might even sit there and wonder if you did something terribly wrong to end up sitting here entirely by yourself. They desperately tried to convince you this isolation was a punishment. They wanted you to believe nobody could ever tolerate your personality. But I am here to completely shatter that toxic illusion today. Your current solitude is not a painful rejection from the world. It is actually a highly classified, divine isolation protocol activated by heaven to keep you safe from their hidden malice. The universe deliberately pulled you away from that crowded table. Heaven saw the invisible nets of manipulation they were actively casting. They used group dynamics to slowly suffocate your authentic voice. If you had stayed there any longer, your beautiful light would have been completely extinguished by their relentless shadow games. You escaped right before the final trap was fully sprung. You thought you were simply failing at maintaining normal relationships. You blamed your own communication skills when things constantly fell apart. But you were never actually broken or flawed in any way. You were simply outgrowing their low-frequency matrix at a terrifying speed, and your soul naturally rejected the fake masks you were forced to wear. This period of intense solitude is your absolute ultimate protection. Your pure energy was far too precious to be continually wasted. You stopped feeding those ungrateful and manipulative energy vampires completely. By removing you from their toxic environment, heaven effectively starved the enemy of their favorite food supply while hiding you in the spiritual shadow. The deep silence you experience right now acts as a heavy armor. It serves as a healing chamber for your deeply exhausted nervous system. You are finally recalibrating your energy back to its true frequency. Every quiet night spent alone is slowly repairing the invisible wounds they maliciously inflicted upon your deeply trusting heart. You are gathering profound strength in the absolute dark. Those toxic individuals look at your isolation and foolishly think they won. They celebrate because they believe they successfully pushed you out. But their perceived victory is nothing more than a pathetic illusion. They actually locked themselves inside a burning building of lies, while you safely walked out the front door, entirely unharmed. They are entirely trapped in their own messy web of continuous lies. Meanwhile, you are finally flying free from their chaotic daily drama. Your complete absence in their lives is slowly suffocating them. They have absolutely no one left to project their intense shame and hidden insecurities onto, because you firmly closed the door forever. You have successfully transformed into the empath with steel boundaries. You learned the hard way how to fully embrace the quiet. You stopped chasing toxic company just to feel a false human connection. The anomaly always walks completely alone before they are divinely called to step up and boldly lead the lost masses toward the true light. Take a moment to simply notice how much better you sleep. Notice how that constant anxiety in your chest is finally fading. That newly discovered peace is the ultimate proof of your path. You bravely traded a room full of fake smiles for a peaceful house filled with divine truth and absolute emotional clarity. Do not ever let the enemy convince you to return there. Do not look back at the burning bridge they intentionally destroyed. They desperately want you to break the silence and reach out. They secretly beg for a loud emotional reaction because your absolute silence has become their biggest and most humiliating daily punishment. This isolation phase is strictly temporary, but the spiritual upgrade is eternal. You are currently being prepared for a massive spiritual wealth transfer. Heaven simply needed an empty room to deliver this massive blessing. If your life was still cluttered with their toxic drama, you would have entirely missed this holy and life-changing divine delivery. Learn to deeply love this incredibly quiet era of your beautiful life. The universe had to ruthlessly clear the physical stage for you. Your true kingdom connections can finally find you without any dark interference, blocking their specific path to your open door. Your divine isolation is almost over, and the beautiful reward is arriving. Embrace your powerful new status as the absolute master of reality. You navigated the darkest emotional storms without losing your pure capacity to love. You survived their cruel isolation tactics and turned their weapon into a sanctuary. Keep walking this solitary path with absolute pride, because heaven is preparing a magnificent table for you right in the presence of your enemies. There is a hidden mechanism that suddenly stopped them from manipulating you. You might wonder why they lost their grip on your reality. Listen carefully to this next part, because it will finally make sense of your confusing battles. A profound energetic shift happened deep inside your spirit. And this secret mechanism terrified them to their core. You carry a massive amount of primal light. This light was never something you had artificially manufactured. It is your divine birthright as a chosen one. When you walked into their dark rooms, your pure energy illuminated every hidden corner, completely exposing the lies they tried so desperately to conceal. Your mere presence accidentally became a giant magnifying glass. They looked at you and immediately saw a reflection of their own rotting souls. Your absolute kindness highlighted their profound cruelty. Your genuine empathy exposed their calculated selfishness. They felt completely naked and exposed under the bright spotlight of your aura, and that terrifying exposure triggered a massive wave of toxic shame inside their chests. They could not handle the painful truth your light revealed. Instead of fixing their own broken inner world, they decided to aggressively attack the mirror because breaking your spirit was easier than healing their own trauma. They tried to dim your shine so they could comfortably hide in the dark again. They threw dirt on your name, but their desperate plan backfired. As they attacked you, something incredible shifted inside your nervous system. You stopped giving them the emotional reactions they desperately craved. You stopped crying in front of them. You completely stopped explaining yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you, and you simply observed their chaotic behavior with total quiet authority. This is exactly where the spiritual tables completely turned. Narcissists feed entirely on your emotional distress. Your pain is the primary fuel source that powers their fake matrix. When you cry, they feel powerful. When you argue, they feel important. But when you offer them nothing but cold silence, they begin to spiritually starve because they have zero internal light. Your unbothered silence amplified the glaring mirror effect 1,000 times over. Without your reactions to distract them, they were left completely alone with their dark thoughts. The spiritual noise in their heads became absolutely deafening. They panicked because they could no longer project their heavy guilt onto your shoulders, forcing them to drown in their own misery. You effectively trapped them inside a psychological prison of their own making. This was not a cruel act of revenge on your part. It was a completely natural consequence of your boundaries finally snapping into place. You became an impenetrable fortress of pure light. Their toxic arrows simply bounced off your energy shield and flew right back at them to deliver cosmic karma. They feel utterly embarrassed right now because their true nature is fully visible. They cannot hide behind their charming, fake smiles anymore. Everyone with a working spiritual radar can clearly see the dark rot consuming them from the inside out. Your brilliant light exposed the absolute truth without you ever having to lift a single physical finger against them. Take a deep breath and absorb this massive realization. You never needed to fight them on their low level. The universe used your inherent goodness as the ultimate divine trap, pulling them into the light where their wicked deeds could be judged. You simply existed in your highest frequency and let the trash take itself out. You successfully broke the generational curse. They are haunted by the fact that they could not break you. They constantly check your social media to see if you are failing, but all they see is a powerful soul thriving in divine isolation. Your continued success is literally burning their eyes. They realize they threw away the rarest soul they will ever meet, and the regret is slowly eating them alive. This brings us directly to the profound answer you have been waiting for. The hidden mechanism that permanently disabled their power over you is your emotional detachment. When you completely stopped reacting, you permanently cut off their food supply. They cannot manipulate a master of reality who absolutely refuses to participate in their childish human games. You are a weapon of light, forged in the fires of their betrayal. Every single time you refused to argue, you sharpened your spiritual blade. They thought they were dealing with a weak victim who would always crawl back for validation. They never expected you to rise up and reclaim your scattered energy with such terrifying precision, leaving them completely powerless. Now they have to live out the rest of their days knowing exactly what they lost. The universe is forcing them to sit in the uncomfortable bed they maliciously made. They are desperately trying to find a new target to drain. But nobody else has the golden energy that you naturally possess. Their pathetic search for a replacement will ultimately fail forever. There are 3 undeniable signs that your toxic abusers are currently collapsing. They are violently tearing each other apart right now because you completely stopped feeding them your energy. Let me carefully explain the first sign of their destruction. You need to understand exactly what happens when a toxic group loses its primary target. The first sign is the intense internal cannibalism happening right now. Once you walked away, they lost their main source of pure light. They have absolutely no empathy to sustain themselves in the dark, so they turned their toxic hunger directly toward each other. They are currently exposing the deeply hidden, dirty secrets of one another out of pure spite. The flying monkeys are aggressively attacking the main narcissist today. They are fighting over the pathetic scraps of power left in their dark little kingdom. Without your gentle presence to act as a buffer, their sharp edges are cutting each other deep. They used to bond over mocking you. Now they have no one to mock but their own miserable reflections. The second sign is the rapid loss of their public reputation. People entirely outside their toxic circle are suddenly seeing the harsh truth. The fake charming mask is violently slipping off their face every single day. They simply cannot maintain the grand illusion without your constant support and silent validation. Their true, ugly nature is leaking into the open. Everyone is starting to notice their erratic and strange behavior. The lies they told about you are no longer making any logical sense. People are quietly distancing themselves from the chaos they constantly create. Their carefully constructed social empire is crumbling into absolute dust right before their panicked eyes. They are losing their grip on reality. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment and confirm that your intuition was right all along. You knew their fake foundation would eventually collapse. You felt the rot underneath their flashy exterior from the very beginning. Your spirit accurately predicted this exact downfall long before the physical evidence ever appeared. Let us look deeper into why they are failing so miserably today. Without you acting as their dedicated emotional sponge, they are rapidly drowning in their own poison. Every single lie they told is catching up to them at a terrifying speed. You used to absorb the heavy karma they carelessly created. You shielded them from the harsh consequences of their wicked actions. But that divine shield you provided is now entirely gone. The universe is forcing them to drink the bitter poison they tried to serve you. They are experiencing a severe spiritual drought because they cannot find another pure soul to drain. Nobody else possesses the incredibly high frequency required to tolerate their endless dramatic cycles. They are hopelessly wandering the desert of their own making. They try to recruit new victims, but people quickly see through their desperate facade. The energetic upgrade on this planet is making it impossible for dark entities to hide. Their manipulative tactics simply do not work on the newly awakened collective consciousness. They are completely exposed. I promised you the third sign of their ultimate collapse earlier. I will reveal it right now because you are finally ready to hear it. The third sign is their complete and absolute paranoia. They are completely terrified because they know their heavy karma has finally arrived. They jump at every shadow and constantly look over their shoulders in fear. They live in a constant state of agonizing dread and panic. They know exactly what they did to you in the dark, and they know the divine courts have officially issued their spiritual arrest warrant. Their nervous systems are perpetually locked in a severe state of fight or flight. The absolute peace they tried to steal from you is forever gone for them. You triggered this massive chain reaction simply by choosing yourself. You did not have to plot any elaborate revenge. You did not have to lower your vibration to fight them in the mud. You just gracefully picked up your crown and walked entirely out of their pathetic low-frequency matrix. Your departure was the fatal blow to their fragile egos. They are desperately trying to hold their shattered world together, but the universe is actively dismantling every single thing they falsely built. Their finances are drying up, and their physical health is slowly deteriorating. The heavy energetic toll of living a continuous lie is absolutely crushing their bodies. They are aging rapidly under the weight of their sins. Watch their kingdom fall with total quiet authority from a distance. You do not need to celebrate their pain because your spirit operates on pure love. But you must acknowledge the divine justice actively working on your behalf. The universe is fiercely protective of its chosen ones. Anyone who intentionally harms a weapon of light will face the cosmic wrath. You are rapidly entering a completely new era of your life. This is the magnificent age of quiet authority. Heaven is actively sending you profound physical and spiritual signs today because they want to confirm that you have successfully crossed the dangerous bridge. You left the chaotic storm entirely behind. You walked directly into the golden light. Notice the physical changes happening inside your body right now. For the longest time, your shoulders were incredibly tight. Your jaw was constantly clenched from the severe stress they caused. But suddenly you feel a deep physical relaxation sweeping through your bones as the heavy, chronic fatigue finally leaves your sacred physical vessel forever. The healing is truly real. This physical lightness is a massive spiritual milestone. Your delicate nervous system is officially exiting the terrifying survival mode. You are no longer scanning the room for invisible hidden threats. Instead, you can finally take deep, calming breaths without feeling that familiar sharp pain stabbing in the middle of your chest. The deep cellular healing has officially begun. You are also experiencing undeniable spiritual synchronicities every single day. You look at the clock and constantly see 111 or 777. You hear specific songs that perfectly answer your silent prayers. These are not random events. Heaven is actively dropping these beautiful breadcrumbs to prove that your frequency is rapidly rising beyond their reach. Your intuition has become incredibly sharp and deadly accurate. You can instantly read the true intentions of anyone who walks into the room. You no longer doubt your inner voice because it has proven itself perfectly right time after time while you were navigating the darkest emotional storms. You have transformed into a highly calibrated spiritual tuning fork. It only accepts the pure truth. People around you are starting to notice this powerful, energetic upgrade. Strangers are suddenly drawn to your peaceful and commanding aura. They look at you with deep respect because your quiet authority demands absolute reverence without you ever having to speak a single word. You carry the undeniable presence of a true spiritual master. You are walking firmly on earth. But wait, before we go any further to celebrate this ultimate victory, I must urgently warn you about a dangerous situation. There is a fatal trap being secretly set up right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones unfortunately fall for this dangerous illusion right before their massive breakthrough occurs. You must listen closely. The enemy is planning one final attack. The darkness is completely terrified of your ascending power. They know they have permanently lost their primary source of pure light. So they are actively preparing a highly deceptive test to drag you back into the mud before you can claim your heavenly reward. What is this hidden trap that could potentially delay your massive divine blessing? You need to brace your spirit right now. They will use your beautiful empathy against you one last time. They know you have a deeply forgiving and gentle heart. The universe is preparing to hand you the keys to the kingdom, while the enemy desperately wants to make sure you drop those precious keys. They want you to voluntarily lower your vibration. They want you back in their toxic cage. Here is the absolute truth you have been waiting for. The fatal trap I just warned you about is the sudden appearance of a fake apology. A toxic counterfeit from your past will suddenly reach out right when your real blessing is safely waiting at your front door. They will send a long message. They will pretend they have entirely changed. They will say exactly what you always wanted to hear. They will cry fake tears and beg for your divine forgiveness. Do not reply to them. Do not let your beautiful heart be tricked by this pathetic illusion, because it is the ultimate spiritual test of your boundaries. You must secure your heavy iron gates. You must protect your holy peace. Your silence is the only acceptable answer to their desperate bait. By ignoring their fake apology, you completely pass the final divine test. You prove to heaven that you are entirely ready to hold the massive wealth and blessings coming your way without ever looking back at the past. You are effectively locking the heavy door. The painful trauma is over forever. Every time you choose silence, you build a stronger energy shield. The universe watches your quiet strength and aggressively applauds your firm boundaries. You have successfully graduated from the painful school of narcissistic abuse, and heaven is incredibly proud of the resilient warrior you have slowly become today. You survived their cruel games. You won the silent war. Step confidently into this glorious era of quiet authority. Let your heavy silence loudly speak for you in the spiritual realm. Your light is too blinding for those low-frequency demons to ever handle again, while you are entirely protected by the highest angelic forces. You are completely safe now. The absolute victory is finally yours. The waiting season is officially over. The heavy, dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of pure divine favor. Every single closed door from your past is being violently blown off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit today? That incredible lightness is the exact frequency of absolute and total victory. It is time to finally reveal the ultimate truth. The hidden reason they panicked so deeply when you walked away is completely shocking. Your pure light did not just gently expose their flaws. Your blinding aura completely shattered the dark illusion they used to survive in this world. When you removed your energy from their lives, you literally pulled the plug on their entirely fake reality. They are completely embarrassed today because they have absolutely no spiritual cover left. They used your beautiful empathy as a protective shield against their own heavy karma. They hid behind your golden reputation to look like good people. But the moment you established iron boundaries, heaven aggressively stripped them bare for the entire world to witness their profound ugliness. You have entirely flipped the script. The tables have not just turned, they have been completely destroyed by divine justice. The people who desperately tried to bury your name are now watching you rise like a glorious phoenix from the ashes of their betrayal. You survived their absolute worst attacks. You walked through the fire, and you came out holding the undisputed crown of victory. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by broken people. You no longer tolerate their fake praises or their calculated disrespect. The painful crucible you survived has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment onward, your energy demands absolute respect, without a single physical word ever being spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is actively flowing into your new timeline right now. The generational curses are permanently broken. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been collected and transformed into a heavy shower of unmerited favor. Heaven is rolling out the red carpet for your beautiful soul because you successfully passed the ultimate test of human endurance. Your quiet authority is now your greatest weapon and your most beautiful sanctuary. The enemies are left drowning in the ugly truth you so bravely exposed. They will forever be haunted by the ghost of the precious soul they foolishly chased away. You do not need to look back at their burning kingdom. Your eyes are firmly locked on the glorious golden horizon expanding right in front of you. Feel the incredible surge of divine electricity running through your veins right now. The heavy chains of your painful past have been completely shattered into a million tiny pieces. You are stepping into the exact beautiful timeline you were born to rule. Every sacrifice you made is paying off with massive spiritual dividends that will protect your family for many generations to come. They thought they could steal your destiny, but they only accidentally accelerated your divine promotion. The extreme pressure they applied simply turned your beautiful soul into an unbreakable diamond. You shine so brightly today that the forces of darkness are completely blinded by your presence. You have officially won the spiritual lottery, and the payout is arriving in your life right now. This is the exact moment everything finally makes perfect sense. The pain is gone. The heavy confusion is permanently lifted from your mind. You are standing on the highest spiritual mountain while your defeated enemies watch from the dark valley below. Breathe in this absolute victory. Let the euphoric joy of divine justice wash over your entire being like a warm and healing summer rain. Stop doubting your own immense power. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into rooms you have completely outgrown. The universe has officially approved your massive kingdom-level upgrade. The heavy spiritual armor you wear today is completely impenetrable. No weapon ever formed against your pure heart will prosper, because Archangel Michael is personally standing guard over your sacred energy. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind you. The brilliant dawn of this new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are vibrating at the absolute highest frequency of pure divine love and unstoppable power. To lock in this glorious energy, you must take a physical action to prove your ultimate readiness. You must seal this new reality. The evil forces want you to close this message and forget the supreme power you just reclaimed. They want your energy to remain scattered and unprotected, but you will not let them win. You must actively partner with heaven in this exact second to build an absolute shield of energetic protection around your entire bloodline. The final step of your journey requires one bold physical move. The beautiful journey of your painful awakening is finally complete today. You have successfully crossed the terrifying desert of isolation while your hidden enemies watched your glorious escape, and heaven is incredibly proud of the resilient warrior you have slowly become. The old, heavy chapters of manipulation are permanently closed forever. You are breathing the pure air of absolute spiritual freedom right now, but you must take one final step to secure this massive blessing. Your physical body must actively align with your ascending spirit. The universe requires a deliberate physical action to permanently anchor this new frequency. You cannot simply absorb this heavy truth and quietly walk away. You must boldly claim your rightful place in the divine kingdom. Type 111 down in the comments to completely seal this reality. Do this right now before the enemy tries to distract you. Typing those numbers is not just a simple physical action on your device. It is a powerful spiritual signature that legally binds your soul to this timeline of divine wealth. Claim your absolute victory in the open light today. When you leave that specific digital footprint, you are building a solid wall. That comment creates an impenetrable energy shield around your sacred aura. The dark forces actively monitor your responses because they want to see if you still doubt yourself. Show them your unbreakable faith. Let your public declaration absolutely terrify those who prayed for your downfall. If this fiery message has reignited the beautiful truth inside you today, do not keep it hidden. There is another chosen one out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are crying entirely alone because they feel completely misunderstood by the fake world. They desperately need a guiding light to help them survive the narcissistic trap. You hold the powerful key to their spiritual rescue. Share this exact video with someone who desperately needs to hear it. Sowing the seed of hope today is multiplying the divine blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you partner with heaven to awaken others, you instantly activate the highest level of angelic protection. The universe always heavily rewards those who actively distribute the divine truth. The evil forces are actively whispering in your ear right this very second. They want you to close this video without taking any physical action. They want you to stay quiet because they are terrified of your multiplying influence. Do not let their desperate manipulation win today. Rise up and boldly strike the final blow against their fading dark kingdom. Your silence in the past was used to protect your fragile peace, but your powerful voice today is used to command your new reality. Hit the like button as a final act of absolute agreement with what God just spoke to you. Every single interaction you make right now creates a massive ripple of pure light that aggressively burns the remaining shadows away. You are officially the undisputed master of your own beautiful reality. The cycle of generational pain completely stops with you today. Future generations of your family will thank you for standing firm during the hardest spiritual battles of your life. You took the heavy hits so they could eventually walk in total freedom and absolute divine peace. The counterfeit friends and toxic manipulators are permanently locked outside your gates. They will never again have access to your golden energy. You are a weapon of light, and your sharp boundaries are fully active. The universe is officially handing you the heavy crown of quiet authority. Wear it with immense pride and never apologize for your brilliance. Take one final slow breath and place your hand gently over your heart. Feel the strong and steady beat of a brave survivor. You did not break under the immense pressure because heaven was holding you up the entire time. The profound spiritual war is completely over, and the beautiful season of harvesting your divine rewards has finally arrived at your doorstep. Declare down in the comments that you are completely ready to receive. Type the word Amen to lock the heavy iron doors behind you. The old empath who constantly begged for basic human decency is officially dead. The untouchable chosen one has fully awakened, and the entire spiritual realm is standing in absolute awe of your magnificent transformation today. I am incredibly honored to witness your glorious rise from the ashes. You are the anomaly that the dark world could never fully understand. Stay firmly rooted in your high frequency and never let anyone dim your blinding light again. The massive wealth transfer is securely yours. Go forward and conquer your new reality with absolute grace and fierce power. Heaven is continuously watching over your every single step right now. Your kingdom connection is actively searching for your brilliant, energetic signature. Do not hide your beautiful face from the universe anymore. Let the divine light completely consume your path. You are forever blessed and absolutely protected by the highest angelic forces of light.